That was clean.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Andrew Guy. I am back once again for another episode of CRL Spotlight. And today is a very, very special episode. I have been wanting to sit down with SK's Morten for a really long time, but I know he's incredibly busy between creating content for his German channel, for his English-speaking channel, which I thank God, because I used to watch his old videos in German, and I knew nothing what he was saying. So I've been a fan of him for a long time, ever since the beginning of me casting CRL, and I think over the last couple years, Morten has gone from an exceptional player in the pro scene to a superstar in the CRL scene in general. Whether it's coming from exceptional gameplay in 2v2 or maybe being a part of the most famous match in history between Surgical Goblin last year at World Finals, which a lot of people say was the actual finals match. They said whoever won that match, whether it be SK or Liquid, was going to go on and take the crown, and Team Liquid did prove true with that theory. So that's enough of me talking. You already got like 4 hours of that today. Let's bring on Morten to talk about what an incredible day that he had. Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I hope you as well.
I'm doing great. I mean, you guys make our job so easy because you guys put on such great games, and you've been doing it for so long. There's just so much I want to talk to you about. So let's start off with the very, very first thing. Let's start with your career in CRL kind of beginning. Everyone already knew you were great. Can we start with the building of SK and maybe what that was like when you started talking to KV and acquiring Sam and things like that?
Yeah, so like after the first season, you mean? Like our first season, I think we did really well. I was like a test for all like teams, like nobody really expect who's gonna be first. Like already knew like Keza was really strong, so like they took the W. Like Liquid was really strong. We already knew like even they didn't perform that well like in Europe back then. We already knew like which teams were really good. Like we performed like second. We knew like we did a really good season. I think nobody picked us as second before the season. But like after that, like we had some choice to do. Like Loy went to Misfits. Floppy decided like more to go in the content scene, and then we picked up Sam because I was like a really good friend with Sam. And first we wanted to take him already for 2018, but then at the end like we decided for Loy and he went to TSM. So we already knew like Sam was a really great player. Like back then even more like head-to-head player than right now.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like kind of important to get a German for me because I already played like 2018, like a lot of 2v2. And I think like 2v2 is like still the most important set.
Yeah.
And then like we picked up Soaking. Yeah, we picked up Soaking. Like he did really well in 2018. Even it didn't work out like at the end. And like right now, I still think he was like a great part of our team and he was like really, really good with his experience. And then like Sergio Ramos, even had like a rough time with Nova and like all the things going on there, like as I already knew, like he's really, really strong and he wanted to show everyone he's like one of the greatest players and he had experience as well. And so it kind of built the team around that.
Did you feel like you had a really big say in kind of the people you were trying to acquire, like talking about going after Sam, going after Sergio, going after Javi? Since the team was kind of built around you and your exceptional gameplay, was that a place that the management, the ownership, and the coaches really, they leaned on you for that? They wanted to build around their superstar in Morten.
I think like, honestly, yes. I think I had already like a really smart thing like about picking players. Like I knew like after we finished like second again, like lost like the final against Liquid, I already knew like one piece are like we're like missing us, like one player which helps us a lot like in the head-to-head game. And so I knew like after like already we already talked like at the start of 2019 with Fabi after he did so well with VivoKey. Then he decided to go to Fnatic, but I already knew like he's not like really happy with Fnatic. And I already knew like told KV after the season, if we take Fabi, we're gonna win CL like the rest for the season.
Wow, that's incredible foresight that you had there. I mean, Javi, as you know, is one of our favorite players to talk about. SK in general is one of our favorite teams to watch play. What is it about you and Sam that works so well together? Because, you know, as the seasons have kind of moved on, Rich and I have gotten a little bit more comfortable speaking with the bias on broadcast. And we said today there was probably no way that Pain Gaming was going to take you guys in the 2v2. Maybe they'd get you guys in King of the Hill, but it feels near impossible to beat you and Sam in 2v2. And that goes for basically every squad out there. Why are you guys so good? You speak so little to one another, and I've already heard about you guys in that mindset of just playing the best response, but what else is it about your guys' synergy that makes you S+ tier?
I think like we are really great friends, so we talk like a lot, even like not about Clash Royale, but other things like private stuff as well. But I feel like we are both like kind of smart players in this term, And for us, it's like, we know the best answer, like your opponent's doing that. We know like the best answer against that is example, the Musketeer. So he's going to drop the Musketeer and I don't really have to worry about that. And we already know, like, sometimes I know like 2 steps ahead of Sam and know what he's going to do like in the next 30 seconds. So that really helps a lot. Like I already know, okay, we have a good setup and he's going to drop this in front of that and I can like grab it or something. So it's like the mechanic, or like I don't know, we're really good.
I mean, it gives me chills when we watch you guys play because you see other teams communicate so much and still stumble. Whereas you guys will play decks with so much going on, so many actions per minute, so many actions per second, and you guys are just dialed on the same page. So 2v2 for you and SK Gaming has felt really solid for a really long time. But now that we're moving into the competition getting higher and higher when it comes to head-to-head play, because I don't feel the competition is very close to you guys in 2v2 unless it's like Tribe or SSG. But head-to-head with all these rookies coming in and all the off-season tournaments and, you know, someone like Schwarzen who you actually ran into in one of those off-season tournaments, how does that make you guys feel as a roster knowing that King of the Hill now is probably going to be your most challenging set? And then how do you approach that?
Like honestly, like right now it's so stacked. Like every team can win King of the, like even like a lot of teams say like Dignitas isn't that strong in King of the, they swept us, then they won against Cream at the end. Even Cream is one of the like favorites in general, I think. So everybody can beat everybody. So we need to prepare a lot for King of the. We are not doing that well. Like the last times, we always got swept like almost every time, even from Wings or like Codigo last time. So it's like really important for us like to prepare decks to have good matchups in the King of the, because we know if we have like good matchups against like most of the teams, we're just gonna win. So it's all about preparation, and we know we can win against everyone if we play good and get the right like preparation.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing we were saying on broadcast is with the amount of talent that you guys have on SK Gaming and the coaching and your guys' ability to bounce back from losses, we know you're going to be world champions eventually. Will it be the 4 of you on SK Gaming? We hope so for your guys' sake, but I feel all of you are going to find success at the highest level eventually. However, SK Gaming, you specifically in your career, you've had a lot of heartbreak, really. For someone who plays so damn good so regularly and gets in these incredibly high pressure situations and you play beyond expectations, but you still haven't gotten that world championship yet. You lose a match by 1 HP, but I still see you grinding on YouTube, grinding in-game. We've been friends in-game for a couple of years now. You're always on. How do you stay with it, and how do you bounce back from those losses? Because Morten, I gotta say, you have had some really tough losses, but you are consistently always creating content and always bettering yourself.
Like honestly, I feel like for my friends or like for the stuff around me, it was like the 1 HP lose against Surge was tougher than for me. Like honestly, like after one day I already thought like about next season. I already thought about 2020, and I thought already like I just want to get a second chance at Worlds, and like I try to do everything for that, like to go to Worlds this season, and I just want to get a second chance.
So I mean, always looking ahead, always looking in the future. Your content, let's talk about that really quickly, because as you heard maybe in the intro, I used to watch your videos in German and just not know anything you were saying. When did you realize you were like, I could make a massive, massive community here in English speakers as well, because your YouTube on both are just blowing up?
Like I already knew, like if you're a good player, I think you have already like a good chance to do that. Example like Surge, like when he started back then, like it's like over 800k subscriber, and like I already knew like with the support on Twitter and a lot of people asking me like, because I already did it in German, and I thought like, okay, maybe English is a good idea, because like a lot of if you're a top player, a lot of people are supporting you in English, and I think like for me as a German, it's not that difficult to speak English because you learn in school. So it was my chance, and I thought like, okay, maybe do it, and it worked out.
Yeah, it's worked out really, really well. Okay, so before we get into you coaching me a little bit, let's talk about expectations for SK this season specifically. What do you think you guys are going to accomplish? What are some of the hitches you might find along the way, things that maybe you need to improve upon a little bit? Or do you feel like right now you guys are about as dialed as you possibly can be?
I think like we are not done yet. I think there's a lot of improved potential. I wouldn't say we're like even at 80 or 90%. I think there's a lot of potential in King of the Hill. We can play way better, and we're still doing like some dumb mistakes sometimes. So I feel like especially in King of the Hill, we have like so much like room to improve, and that's a nice thing to have. Like if you're 3-0 and you still think you're not playing perfect, I think it helps. And yeah, I think we just want to go to Worlds. That's like the goal at first. If we do it, then for sure we want to win the league.
All right. All right. Well, we'll definitely be rooting for you. I still wear my SK Gaming shirt pretty regularly. So let's talk a little bit about what you did today. Everyone already saw the dominance that you busted out in 2v2 and in King of the Hill. No one is surprised when you do things like that. But one thing that I do want to talk about, because I'm horrible with this deck. I don't know what it is. It makes me angry because I'll play against it with Mortar and it'll outcycle me. It's so strong right now. It's this Royal Giant Skeleton Dragons Fisherman Hunter deck that you played to perfection. That minor catch with the Hunter with the log on top of the minor wall breakers at the end of that game was just sheer brilliance, man. So why is this deck so good?
I feel like in this deck, yes, like they're just cards which are just maybe too strong. Like you need the Fireball against like all the Skeleton Dragons. Like Log is really strong. For sure, like you need the Fireball Log. Like a lot of players are playing Barbel, but I prefer the Log like to kill the Musketeer. Like Skeletons, like Here's Spirit for most of the pros, it's just like too strong. Skeleton Dragons, such a nice combination. And like Hunter was back then like a card which was like really niche card. Like just some pros are saying it's really good, but right now like the single target damage is insane, and especially with the Fisherman combination, it's like such a strong deck. Like you can play it. There's so less like matchups that I say you can't win. It's like a really strong deck, and that's why I picked it, because I feel like if you play it perfect, you can win almost any matchup.